with Tom from
Hi.
Alpha H. So now we're going to talk about the hero of Alpha H, which is liquid gold.
It's a completely unique product, so you can add it to any existing routine. And what liquid gold really does is it optimizes your skin. So whatever your age, whatever your skin type or skin condition, and it really works in three key ways. The first thing is it's an exfoliant. So all of those excess, dead, dull, stained skin cells that are sitting on the surface, making any imperfections like lines and wrinkles look worse, the first thing that liquid gold does is it lifts them away. So immediately it's giving you that fresh canvas. The second thing is, the way I describe it to people, it's a little bit like Pilates for your skin. It gives your skin a little bit of a workout. So you go to sleep because you use it 3 nights a week, and all you do is just pop it onto a cotton pad. Very, very easy to use. And we've got this liquid consistency. It really is, yeah. And when you put that onto the skin, you'll feel a tingle. And that's actually because the product has quite a low pH. And it's that is having that sort of aerobic effect. So when you're wiping it onto the skin, and you can take it onto the neck and onto the décolletage as well, that tingle is sending messages. It's a little bit like osmosis. And it kind of acts like a supercharger, like an accelerant. So you're going to go to bed, you're going to be away in the land of Nod, and you feel this tingle for a sort of a moment or two. And what it does overnight is it makes your skin work a little bit harder. It's a little bit like when you go to the gym. So in the morning when you wake up and you look in the mirror, immediately your skin looks brighter, fresher. You know, it looks like you've had the best night's sleep. So it exfoliates, it gives you that kind of aerobic workout. And the other thing is it supercharges everything else in your routine, because we've lifted away those tired, dead cells. So in the morning when you put your serum on or your moisturiser, they're able to get to work that much more effectively. So it's my little supercharger. So that's why people talk about it so much, because they don't just feel the benefit when they use that product on its own. They see the way it kind of accelerates the effect of everything else in their skincare routine. Yeah, definitely. And testing the water with exfoliation, because the other thing that we're getting with liquid gold is leave-on exfoliation. So when you ask people out of exfoliation, normally they're thinking about something that is granular. That is a scrub, and that's a physical exfoliation. Some of those scrubs, are quite scratchy, or pulling the skin. Liquid gold does all of that without any friction or any abrasion. So it's, I think, as a sort of entry point to Alpha H, because it is unique. Alpha H, for over 20 years really working with fruit acids, we are the acknowledged experts really with fruit acids. We were one of the pioneers in terms of brands, professional brands, I'm talking in a clinic situation, using fruit acids. So this is, I always say to my customers that we're kind of putting the beauty salon into your bathroom, so you can get that level of activity. So by all means, you don't have to stop using your existing products, but 3 nights a week, if you like, rest your regular night cream or your serum and use the liquid gold. And what we find is people, that might be their entry point to the range, and then they're thinking, okay, I want to try some of your other products. Yeah, I like the results. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Well, the first thing really with that is that, when you put your liquid gold on, I suppose because it is a liquid, people are thinking it's like an astringent or a toner, but in here we've got that fruit acid, we have silk proteins which have a really conditioning, softening effect on the skin, and the fruit acid itself, which is glycolic, which comes from sugarcane, it actually helps to lift away those dry, dead cells that you were just talking about. So what liquid gold actually encourages your skin to do is to hydrate itself, because the fruit acid that's in here, particularly because we're working with a lower pH and it's giving that tingle on the skin, it actually encourages the skin to produce something called hyaluronic acid. And if we went to the local kind of cosmetic surgery clinic. You can have that injected, but our body actually manufactures it. It's in all of our joints. It gives our skin that volume, that plumpness, and it holds a lot of moisture in of itself. So by using the liquid gold, we can encourage the skin to produce more of that. So absolutely, with my clients in our clinics, when I first tell them about this product, they'll say to me, oh my goodness, I'm going to wake up, my skin's going to be dry, it's going to be tight, All I can say, I suppose, is try it for yourself, because it is one of those products where sort of seeing is believing. But what you'll find in the morning, against your expectation maybe, on that skin that you've worked on with your liquid gold, you'll feel almost as if, did somebody put some moisturiser on while I was asleep? And it's actually your skin producing more of its own moisture. And when you touch your skin, instead of feeling that all those layers of dead cells, which can feel rough, coarse, dry, you'll feel this lovely, fresh, juicy, dewy canvas. So, but in terms of your night cream, the reason why we tell you to rest it is that pH that we drop on the skin that's having that effect, if you put a cream on straight after your liquid gold, you sort of switch off that process. You'll still get a result because liquid gold exfoliates the skin, but to see the real potential of the product, and in that the real potential of your skin, it's the best way to use it on its own or uninterrupted. But Emily, the funny thing is people say to me, oh, I'll never get the hang of it. No moisturiser 3 nights a week. And then my clients come back and go, and they're like, I've got a client who says to me it's her lazy girl night, because she said her nighttime routine is like 20 seconds, cleanse with the liquid gold, bed, morning, everybody's complimenting on her skin.
Yeah, it almost feels too easy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But,
I suppose, yeah.
I can completely vouch for it because I've got really dry and very rough skin.
Yeah.
And I can put any kind of moisturiser, any kind of oil on my face, and I don't break out. It's just straight in.
Well, and the other thing is, talking about dry skin, again, with a dry skin, traditionally people are thinking, I need to grab a thicker moisturiser, but there is a limit to what the skin can absorb. But when we exfoliate the skin with the liquid gold, it means that in the morning or the next night, when you put your moisturiser on, it's actually able to penetrate more effectively.
Oh, okay.
And that dead cell build-up, particularly on a dry skin on the surface, it's a physical barrier to your creams absorbing effectively. So, again, with liquid gold, we're optimizing the potential of the skin itself, and we're also making it more able to kind of absorb the moisturizing oils, the vitamins that you might have in your other products. So it's that combination of effects that's going to give you an even better result.
So you said that even probably after using it once, you will notice.
Yeah,
the
and I know that
skin.
that's the first time that I tried the product, which is probably about 7 years ago. And the reason it's called liquid gold, I have to say, is that when Michelle Doherty, who, she's the owner of the brand, when she was developing it, she gave it to a friend to try, who was a very seasoned beauty therapist. And Michelle said to her, I want you to try this product. She hadn't given it a name yet. Try it tonight, wipe it on, in the morning, call me and tell me your result. And this lady was like, Michelle, have you been drinking it? Yeah. Nothing is going to give you that kind of result in 6, 7, 8 hours. So Michelle said, look, just try it for yourself. So her friend, the next morning, the phone goes, 7 a.m. and this lady said, what is this stuff? It's liquid gold. And I suppose, Michelle just thought, what a great name, because it describes that immediate result. And I definitely remember when I first used it, and obviously I, working with all of our customers in clinics and, everywhere over the last 7 years, I hear this day in, day out when people say, wow, it really does work within that one application. But that's the beauty of fruit acids. And if you were come to a clinic and we were using them on your skin, you can see that difference immediately. So with liquid gold, overnight by morning, it's just a freshness, I think, more than anything, a brightness, a luminosity, and that makes everything look better. You don't have to have a problem. You could have great skin and it makes the skin look even better.
Is there anybody that it's not suitable for?
Only, somebody if they've been in the sun and they've got inflammation, sunburn, somebody whose skin is broken, maybe somebody who has a skin condition like eczema, dermatitis. But in that situation, we'd always encourage that person to speak to their doctor about their skin. Other than that, I mean, really, as a rule of thumb, anybody over the age of 20, as I said, any particular skin condition, it's not about a skin type.
Yeah.
Because skin is skin, and that exfoliation and renewal process is good for any type of skin. If your skin is very sensitive, or if you're concerned about that, then all I would do, when you get your liquid gold, when you use it, just dampen that cotton pad, and then squeeze out the excess water, and then just put your liquid gold onto that. And do that for a week. So maybe use it twice in that first week on that dampened cotton pad. And then the next week, graduate to using it on the dry cotton pad. But what you also might find is that, after you've been using it for a few weeks and you've started to see those results, instead of using it 3 nights a week, you might use it once or twice a week as a maintenance. But no, I mean, there's actually very few skin types or conditions that can't use liquid gold. But be aware that tingle is designed to happen. So it's working. It's good. It's a good thing. It doesn't mean that your skin doesn't like it or that having a reaction or... but Emily, any product, anybody who's concerned about when they start using a new product, side of the neck, inside crease of the elbow, patch test it. And within 10 minutes with a product, you'll know if you're going to have any problems with it. But, in 7 years working with the product, I have to say, I've had so many people who've said to me, I've got sensitive skin, can I use it? And I've said, well, try it. And they absolutely love it. So, which is great. It means so many people can get a great result. Well, glycolic is a fruit acid, and it's one of the reasons why our brand is called Alpha H, because technically fruit acids are called alpha hydroxy acids, and like the liquid gold, we have a number of other products that use it, but that's the one we're famous for using in that product. And we use glycolic acid, which it's actually a natural ingredient. It's naturally derived from sugarcane. And there are various different fruit acids, lactic acid from milk, malic acid from apples, but what fruit acids do is, well, my analogy for it is it's a little bit like Pac-Man. And what fruit acids do is they kind of break down those dead skin cells. They're not touching the living cells, but dead cells which sit on the surface. The glycolic breaks the cement that holds them together. It releases them faster. And you know why that's important? It's because as we get older, that process of the skin releasing all of those unwanted dead cells gets slower and slower and slower. So you're actually, by the time you're in your 50s, 60s, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at skin cells that have been there potentially for like 2.5 months. Is it any wonder they look dull, tired? So your fruit acid is your way of exfoliating the skin with no abrasion, and it's really the simplest method, because it's like a leave-on exfoliator. So that's really how glycolic works for us. And as I said, for your skin, it's that freshness, that brightness, that luminosity, and that happens very quickly. Yeah, I mean, the thing that you have to think about is that your skin is an ecosystem, and actually what liquid gold does to your beauty routine is it means that you get your skin into a cycle, a bit like when we go to the gym, and you're always advised, if you're going to the gym, the next day you let your body recover. And actually with your liquid gold, exfoliating, that aerobic exercise, on the next day, you feed your skin. So all of those newer cells you brought close to the surface. So using your moisturisers and serums with lovely nourishing oils and vitamins in. So actually, your skin needs exfoliation, but it's measured, it's controlled, and that's key with liquid gold.
Excellent. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.